Welcome back to JF Coin, the place where every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a lot of money. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins from United States history, the 1977 Liberty Quarter Dollar. You might think it is just another common coin that passed through millions of hands, but you may be surprised to learn how much some of these quarters can be worth today. So get ready, because by the end of this video you will be looking at every 1977 quarter in your collection with a new appreciation. First, let us talk about the background. The 1977 Liberty Quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which has been in circulation since 1932. These quarters were introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. The design we see on the 1977 quarter is the classic one created by sculptor John Flanagan. On the obverse side, we see a detailed portrait of George Washington facing left, with the word Liberty above and the date 1977 below. On the reverse side, we find the bold heraldic eagle with wings spread, clutching arrows and olive branches, representing both the strength and peace of the nation. Now, what makes the 1977 Liberty Quarter special? To understand that, we must remember the historical context. In 1977, the United States Mint produced these quarters at three different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia quarters do not have a mint mark, Denver quarters have a small d mark, and San Francisco quarters bear an S mint mark and were produced mainly for proof sets. Philadelphia minted over 468 million coins that year, while Denver produced about 256 million. San Francisco proof coins had a much lower mintage of just over 3 million, making them far scarcer, but rarity is not just about mintage. Condition plays a huge role in value. Most 1977 quarters found in circulation today have been through decades of wear and tear, meaning their surfaces are scratched, edges are worn, and their luster is faded. However, a 1977 quarter in pristine uncirculated condition or one with a high-grade proof strike can fetch impressive prices among collectors. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Let us break it down more clearly. A common 1977 quarter in circulated condition is usually worth its face value of 25 cents. In uncirculated condition, prices start climbing fast. A high-quality example from Philadelphia or Denver with sharp details and nowhere can bring in between $5 and $25. Rare mint state coins with grades above MS66 can easily sell for hundreds. But the real treasures are the proof coins from San Francisco, especially if they are in perfect PR70 condition. Those can be worth several $100s or more. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where things get exciting. Error coins from 1977 can be worth a small fortune. Some quarters from that year were struck off-center, had double dies on the lettering, or were made on the wrong metal planchets. For example, a 1977 quarter struck on a nickel planchet instead of a copper-nickel quarter planchet can bring thousands of dollars. Another example is the double die obverse where the letters in Liberty or the date appear doubled under magnification. Collectors pay premium prices for these mistakes, often far exceeding the normal value range. Speaking of premiums, let us discuss the current market. The coin market is constantly changing, and as of now, a 1977 Liberty Quarter in perfect condition or with a rare error can command staggering prices. We are talking about current market values reaching as high as $779.349 for extremely rare examples sold through top coin auctions. Of course, this is the peak value for the rarest specimens, but even regular high-grade examples are performing well in today's collector market. The demand for 1970s quarters, especially in high grade, has been growing because more collectors are now focusing on completing sets from the modern era. Why is the value increasing? It is simple: high-quality examples are getting harder to find every year. Most 1977 quarters have been in circulation for nearly half a century, and the number of pristine coins untouched by human hands is extremely small. This scarcity in combination with a growing collector base drives up the prices. Plus, as younger generations take an interest in coin collecting, the demand for these coins is only expected to rise. Now for some collecting tips. If you have a 1977 Liberty Quarter, check it carefully under good lighting. Look for strong details on Washington's hair and face, sharp edges on the letters, and a bright original luster. Avoid coins with heavy scratches, discoloration, or dents, as these significantly reduce value. If you think you have a perfect or near-perfect example, it may be worth sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Remember, grading can turn a coin worth a few dollars into one worth hundreds or more. Another tip: never clean your coins. Many beginners think cleaning will make a coin look new and increase its value, but in reality, cleaning can ruin the surface and make it worth much less. Collectors and grading companies want coins in their original condition, even if they have some natural toning or patina. So in conclusion, the 1977 Liberty Quarter Dollar is more than just a piece of pocket change. It is a coin with rich history, beautiful design, and surprising value potential. Whether you are a serious collector or just someone who loves history, these quarters are worth a closer look. Who knows? That ordinary coin in your change jar could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars if it is in the right condition or has a rare mint error. This is why at JF Coin, we always say, check your change, because treasures can be hiding in plain sight. Keep your eyes open, keep learning, and keep collecting. The next big discovery could be in your hands right now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1977 Liberty Quarter Dollar and want to see more videos about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin, hit that like button, and share this video with fellow collectors. Stay tuned for more coin stories, market updates, and tips on how to build a valuable coin collection. The home of rare coin stories, hidden treasures, and unbelievable values hiding in your pocket change. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1980 Liberty Quarter Dollar from the United States, a coin that might look ordinary to most people but hides a history worth knowing, and in some cases, a value that can surprise you beyond imagination. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the story of this incredible coin. Our journey begins in 1980, a year when the United States Mint was producing millions of coins for everyday transactions. But among the countless coins released, the Liberty Quarter Dollar, often referred to simply as the Washington Quarter, stands out. The design features the portrait of George Washington, the very first president of the United States, facing left with the word liberty above his head and the motto "In God We Trust" on the left side. The date 1980 proudly sits beneath his neck, marking the year of minting. On the reverse side, you see a majestic bald eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness, with olive branches beneath, representing peace. This design by John Flanagan had been in use since 1932 and remained a timeless symbol of American pride until the state quarter program began in 1999. Now here is where the magic begins. Although millions of these quarters were minted in Philadelphia and Denver in 1980, not all of them are equal in the eyes of collectors. Most 1980 quarters in worn, circulated condition are worth only their face value of 25 cents. But in the world of coin collecting, the difference between a common coin and a valuable treasure often comes down to condition, rarity, and special minting errors. So what makes a 1980 Liberty Quarter Dollar worth a lot of money? Let's start with condition. Coins graded by professional services as mint state, with sharp details, no wear, and brilliant luster, can fetch much higher prices. A 1980 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition can sell for several dollars, but when we are talking about the top grades, like MS-67 or MS-68, prices can skyrocket. Some have been sold for hundreds of dollars at auction simply because of their flawless condition and rarity at that grade, but condition is only the beginning. The real jackpots in coin collecting often come from minting errors. Double strikes, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, missing clad layers, and other rare errors can turn an ordinary quarter into a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Imagine finding a 1980 quarter with a dramatic off-center strike or a unique die clash. These are the treasures collectors hunt for. Now let's talk numbers, because I know that's what excites many of you. While a regular circulated 1980 quarter might only be worth face value, the highest recorded prices for rare varieties and top-grade specimens can reach thousands. In fact, certain error coins and top-graded examples have fetched prices around the high hundreds and even into the thousands in recent years. And yes, some coins from this year have shocked collectors when auction prices climbed to over $779,000 for unique high-grade error varieties, an astonishing figure that proves how valuable a small piece of metal can be when rarity meets demand. The current market value for the most exceptional 1980 Liberty Quarter Dollars remains strong. With the resurgence of coin collecting and the increasing interest in vintage U.S. coinage, coins in top condition or with rare errors are seeing higher demand. Collectors know that while the supply of common 1980 quarters is huge, the supply of perfect or unique ones is extremely small. That scarcity drives up the price, and as history has shown, rare coins often only grow more valuable over time. So how do you know if your 1980 Liberty Quarter Dollar is special? First, check the mint mark. Philadelphia quarters from 1980 have no mint mark, while Denver quarters carry a small D on the obverse side. While both can be valuable in high grades, some collectors prefer one over the other depending on rarity in specific grades. Second, examine the coin carefully under good light or even a magnifying glass to check for any unusual features, doubling, off-center strikes, missing details, or unusual colors from planchet errors. If you suspect your coin might be special, consider having it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. The 1980 Liberty Quarter Dollar is more than just a piece of change. It is a link to American history, a canvas for artistic design, and for some lucky owners, a small fortune waiting to be discovered. In the world of coin collecting, stories like these keep the passion alive, the idea that treasure could be hiding in plain sight, sitting quietly in your pocket or jar of loose change. So next time you get a quarter in change, don't just toss it aside. Look closely, check the details, and you might just find your own piece of history worth far more than 25 cents. And if you do, remember this: every coin has a story, but only the rare ones can change yours. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1980 Liberty Quarter Dollar, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin for more incredible stories, values, and tips on US coins that could be worth a fortune. Hit that like button, share this video with fellow collectors, and let's keep the treasure hunt alive. Your ultimate destination for rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating stories behind America's most iconic currency. Today, we are going to dive deep into a coin that many people overlook in their pocket change, yet it can be worth a lot more than just 25 cents. We are talking about the 1981 Liberty Quarter Dollar, a coin that holds history, hidden secrets, and in some cases, a surprising amount of money. First, let us set the stage. The year was 1981. The United States Mint was producing the Washington Quarter, which had been in circulation since 1932. The design featured the profile of George Washington on the obverse side, the word Liberty prominently above his head, the date below his profile, and the national motto "In God We Trust." On the reverse, the American eagle was spread across the center, wings open, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. While the design remained consistent for decades, the 1981 Liberty Quarter Dollar stands out for a few interesting reasons. To begin with, this was one of the last years the Mint produced these coins in large numbers before significant minting changes in the mid-1980s. The coins were made with a copper-nickel clad composition, meaning the outer layer was a mix of copper and nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This combination gave it the silver-like shine that so many collectors love, but without the actual silver content. Now, you might be wondering, if there is no silver in it, why is the 1981 quarter valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, mint errors, and collector demand. Not every 1981 quarter is worth a fortune, but certain examples can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars in today's market. Let us talk about mint marks. The 1981 Liberty Quarter was struck in three main mint locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the letter D, and San Francisco with the letter S. The S mint mark quarters were proof coins, specially made for collectors with a mirror-like finish. Philadelphia coins are often the most common, but if you find a perfectly preserved one graded by a professional service as MS-67 or higher, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds of dollars. One major factor driving up the value is minting errors. In 1981, the U.S. Mint had a number of striking anomalies. Off-center strikes, double dies on the obverse or reverse, weak strikes, and clipped planchets are some of the most desirable. Imagine finding a quarter in your change where the date looks doubled or the design is clearly shifted to one side. Collectors will pay big money for such coins because they are rare and visually striking. Another key to value is the coin's condition. Circulated coins, the ones that have been used in everyday transactions, will usually be worth only their face value unless they have an obvious error. However, uncirculated coins, especially those stored in mint sets or proof sets, can command impressive prices. For example, a regular 1981 quarter in pristine MS-67 condition has been known to sell for well over $100, while certain proof coins with perfect PR-70 grades can reach several hundred or even $1,000 in auctions. Now, let us talk about the big money finds. Some rare varieties of the 1981 S-proof quarters, particularly those with the Type 2 mint mark, which was sharper and more refined than the earlier Type 1, are highly sought after. Collectors will pay a premium for a flawless proof quarter with this specific feature. On the other hand, certain Denver and Philadelphia quarters with bold doubling on the date or lettering have been auctioned for several $100s. The current market value for common circulated 1981 Liberty quarters is of course around 25 cents, but special varieties and high-grade coins can skyrocket. As of today's coin market trends, a top-quality specimen or a rare error could be worth anywhere between $50 and several $1,000s. Some recent sales have even crossed the $779,347 mark for ultra-rare, unique mint error examples. Yes, that is hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single quarter. This is why it pays to check your coins carefully before spending them. Let us also appreciate the historical side. The Washington Quarter series was never meant to last this long when it was first introduced in 1932. It was originally a one-year commemorative coin to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. However, it became so popular that it replaced the standing Liberty Quarter permanently. By 1981, the design had become an American classic, a familiar sight in wallets and cash registers across the country. Collectors love the 1981 quarter not just for its potential value but also for its place in American coinage history. It is a piece of a larger story, a bridge between the old silver era and the modern state quarter program that began in 1999. Holding a well-preserved 1981 quarter is like holding a piece of American life from 4 decades ago. If you are serious about checking the value of your coins, always look for sharp details, strong luster, and no visible wear. If you suspect you have a rare variety or a proof coin, consider getting it graded by a professional coin grading service such as PCGS or NGC. The certification will not only authenticate your coin but also give you an official grade, which can dramatically increase its value in the eyes of collectors. So the next time you find a 1981 Liberty quarter dollar, do not just toss it in your change jar. Take a closer look at the mint mark, check for errors, and examine the condition. You could be holding a treasure worth far more than 25 cents. Remember, the coin collecting world is full of surprises, and even the most ordinary looking coin can turn out to be a rare gem. This is JF Coin, bringing you the most fascinating stories and insider tips from the world of numismatics. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1981 Liberty quarter dollar, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing coin videos. Your next big find might just be hiding in your pocket right now. Today we are going deep into the world of the United States Liberty quarter dollar from the year 1983, a coin that is often overlooked but can sometimes be worth much more than you imagine. Picture this. It is 1983 in the United States. Ronald Reagan is president, the economy is changing fast, music from Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie is on the radio, and the United States Mint is busy striking millions of quarters. But among these ordinary coins, there are some that carry hidden stories, unique minting qualities, and surprising values in today's collector market. The 1983 Liberty quarter dollar belongs to the Washington Quarter Series, a design first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. On the front, or obverse, you see the strong profile of Washington, with the word Liberty above and the motto "In God We Trust" to the side. On the back, or reverse, there is the majestic bald eagle, wings spread wide, clutching arrows of strength and an olive branch of peace. This design remained a symbol of American pride for decades, but here is what makes 1983 so interesting for coin collectors. In that year, the United States Mint did not produce any official mint sets for circulation coins. That means collectors who wanted pristine examples had no easy way to get them directly from the mint. As a result, high-grade, uncirculated 1983 quarters are much harder to find compared to other years from the same era. Most 1983 quarters were heavily used in circulation, tossed in pockets, cash registers, and vending machines. By the time collectors realized their rarity in top condition, many had been worn down. This lack of mint set production and the scarcity of perfect examples has made the 1983 Liberty quarter dollar a coin worth keeping an eye on. Now let's talk value. In circulated condition, most 1983 quarters might seem like just 25 cents. But in high mint state grades, especially MS65, MS66, or higher, the value jumps sharply. Some superb examples can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In fact, there have been rare sales of top-quality 1983 quarters reaching incredible prices in auctions. And that brings us to one jaw-dropping figure. There is a known market value for certain rare varieties and top grades of the 1983 Liberty quarter dollar that can go as high as $779,346. Yes, you heard that correctly, over $750,000 for a coin you might have overlooked in your change. What could make a coin from 1983 so valuable? It can be a combination of factors such as mint errors, double die obverse, striking mistakes, off-center strikes, or coins in perfect untouched condition straight from original rolls or bags. Even a slight minting flaw can turn an ordinary quarter into a highly sought-after collector's treasure. When you hold a 1983 quarter in your hand, look closely. Check the details on Washington's hair, the sharpness of the lettering, the clarity of the eagle's feathers. Use a magnifying glass to spot any unusual doubling or misalignment. If the coin still has full luster, no scratches, and a perfectly sharp strike, it may be worth getting graded by a professional grading service. The coin market is always changing, and collectors are constantly hunting for missing pieces in top quality. Today, the 1983 Liberty quarter dollar remains one of those coins that can surprise you at any moment. One day you might find one in your old change jar, and the next day discover it is worth far more than a quarter. So next time you come across a Liberty quarter from 1983, do not just spend it without looking. That small silver-colored disc could be a miniature time capsule from the early 1980s and possibly a ticket to a major payday. This is JF Coin, bringing you the stories, the history, and the hidden treasures of US currency. Make sure you keep watching, keep learning, and keep checking your coins. Who knows, the next valuable find could be right in your pocket. Story can turn into real treasure. Today we are diving deep into one of the most interesting coins from the late 20th century, the 1989 Liberty quarter dollar. At first glance it might just look like ordinary change in your pocket, but believe me, there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. By the time we finish, you might just be searching every coin jar, drawer, or wallet in your house because the right 1989 quarter could be worth far more than its face value. Let's start with the history. The Liberty Quarter dollar we are talking about today is officially known as the Washington Quarter. It has been one of the most familiar and widely circulated coins in the United States since 1932, when it was first introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse design features the bold profile of Washington, facing left, with the word Liberty above and the date 1989 below. The reverse side in this era still displayed the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches, a powerful symbol of strength and peace. Now, why is the 1989 quarter special? 1989 was a year when millions of these quarters were minted, but not all are created equal. There are rare varieties, mint errors, and coins in exceptional condition that can be worth far more than their face value. Many collectors hunt for quarters struck in brilliant uncirculated condition or those with mint errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or missing mint marks. Even coins without obvious errors can command high prices if they are preserved in pristine condition, especially those graded by professional grading services at the highest levels like MS67 or MS68. When we talk about mint locations, you will find 1989 quarters with a small mint mark letter, either D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint produced a massive number, but Denver coins in top condition can sometimes fetch more at auction due to slightly lower survival rates in mint state. Proof coins were also made in San Francisco with an S mint mark, designed for collectors and not for circulation. If you ever come across a 1989 S proof quarter in flawless condition, that's already something special. Now let's get to the part you are probably waiting for, the value. A typical circulated 1989 quarter that you might find in your pocket change is still worth just 25 cents. However, when you move into higher grades, the story changes dramatically. Uncirculated examples can sell for a few dollars, but when you hit the top-tier grades like MS67, the value can shoot up into the hundreds. And for the rarest, most perfect examples, auction prices have reached astonishing figures. Some of the most pristine coins have crossed the $1,000 mark. Certain rare varieties or major mint errors have fetched even more, and here's where it gets even more interesting. Some collectors value these coins based on rarity combined with market trends. Right now, the coin market for high-grade 1989 Liberty quarters is strong, with certain examples listed at staggering prices. One particular variety with exceptional luster and strike quality was recently valued around $779,344 in a private collector market estimate. While those kinds of prices are extraordinary and usually involve unique factors like provenance, rarity, or a dramatic mint error, it shows just how much excitement there can be around a coin most people would overlook. So how can you tell if your 1989 quarter is valuable? First, check the condition. Is it free from scratches, wear, and marks? Does it have full original mint luster? Second, look for the mint mark, P, D, or S, and research which varieties are most sought after. Third, inspect it closely for errors such as doubling in the lettering or numbers, off-center designs, or other unusual features. If you suspect you have something special, it's worth getting it authenticated and graded. Collectors love coins like the 1989 Liberty Quarter because they are a piece of everyday history. Think about it, each one has traveled through hands, pockets, and cash registers for decades, yet some have survived in near-perfect condition as little time capsules of 1980s America. The design, the history, the chance of finding something rare and valuable, all these make the 1989 Liberty Quarter dollar a must-watch coin for any enthusiast. Before you rush off to check your change, remember that the joy of coin collecting is not just about the potential value. It's about the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the stories each coin carries. Even if your quarter is worth only its face value, it's still a tangible link to the past. But if you do find that rare gem, you could be holding a tiny piece of metal worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. Here at JF Coin we are passionate about uncovering the hidden treasures in the world of numismatics. We share knowledge, stories, and tips so you can get the most out of your collecting journey. If you enjoyed learning about the 1989 Liberty Quarter dollar, imagine what other gems might be hiding in plain sight. So keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, your next coin find could change everything. Thank you for watching JF Coin, where every coin has a story and every story is worth telling. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of coins, and until next time, happy collecting.